They need their breakfast, though, especially Emma, with medicine. Oh, boy. Okay. Oscar, bro. Where is he? Oscar. Charlie. I already got enough going on, kids, this morning. I don't need you to go. Go. Good morning. I already got stuff on my shirt. Perfect. Oh, well. Y'all, what a morning already. The last, I don't know, 15 minutes. I was fighting with Ath and Adrian to take medicine. My son likes to milk it when he's been sick and not feeling good. Yeah. I don't really think that tastes good, but I'm gonna drink it anyway. Good morning. I know that boy's feeling better. He, has to be. He just wants to feel good when he wants to. And I'm like, bro, we're not doing this. We're not. Phew. And he's only going to be going to school for 2 days. Because next week we go on our little vacation. So next week he'll only go to school to 1 day. 1 day. So drive somebody crazy. Am I echoing for everybody? Listen, he's in there crying. We're going to be lucky if we get through this coffee talk. Okay, just want to make sure. Yeah, we're going to be good if we come, if we make it through this coffee talk. He's in there crying. I didn't really have a lot of people say that they would come to the meet and greet. So I hate to plan one at a restaurant, reserve a room or whatnot, and then there not be a lot of people. So I think I've decided against it. To be honest with y'all, I really need a vacation. I need, I have anxiety when it comes to, traveling. And not really the traveling part. It's the being in the car with the kids for 6.5 hours. You know what I'm saying? And it's leaving my sweet little doggies. I don't like it. So, I'm social. I don't like going places. So, it is I don't know, this close to being not going, kidding. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna make myself go. Because it's gonna be great. And it's exactly what I need. And I know it's what I need to go and just take a couple of days off and have vacation and spend time with my family. And it's just going to be even better that it gets to be at the Creation Science Center and Noah's Ark. And I just know it's going to be a spirit-filled trip. So I'm super excited. I'm just also one of those people that don't like getting out of the groove of things. So I think I might just take it as a vacation and take the time that I need with my family and just we'll be leaving on Wednesday. And then we will be coming back on Saturday. So I'm not sure. I really haven't decided. It just totally depends. It depends on like how early we get our days started, I guess. Because I'm likely to still try to wake up pretty early. So we'll see. I might still do coffee talk. Just probably nothing else. I don't hear Ethan crying anymore. Convinced that I'm broken and need salvation, all from the same book. Sounds like you got the nail on the head. And if you're not broken, then this probably ain't the life for you. Because I only like to talk to broken people. Look what I created. Mention of being broken. I have a post that I want to create today. So I created something last night to go along with it. I'm going to show y'all. Because I'm super excited about it. No, I do not like changing my routine. That's 110% correct. I really like structure and a good routine. I love that, right? So I have to like learn how to get out of that routine. Look at this. So first off, sadness refines us. Ain't that pretty? Ain't that pretty? But then look at this. It says I'm broken. That's the whole point. Ain't that cute? I love this. I cannot wait to make my post with it today. I love that so much. Like, I'm broken. That's the whole point. I love it. It's so pretty. To go with the coffee talk we had the other day, or Tuesday night, right? So this morning we are gonna read some out of Exodus 34. And I'm going to give us a couple of like really good points that I'm super excited about. I'm actually only going to hit on a couple like certain verses. Okay, we're not going to read the whole thing. I'm going to hit on certain verses and give y'all some notes on those. Because these are the things that stuck out to me this morning. So I would absolutely just love to hit on those because I really, really like it. We'll see how next week goes. I don't know. I do need like, I remember, so some of you have been around that long when, you remember when I went to the beach last July, something like that. If you've been in the membership that long and following me that long, then you definitely remember. And I took like that whole week off. And honestly, I remember coming back home so ready to get back to work and just so refreshed and so just filled with energy and life and just all these great things. So, you know, I need that rejuvenating thing still happening, right? Soul, spirit. And I'm excited because I know that that's going to happen because of Creation Science Center. And Noah's Ark. Like, this is where I, like, flourish. Like, oh my gosh, it's going to be... I already told, so I'm taking Haley and her son, and then clearly my family, right? And I done told him, I said, y'all just better take these kids and go on. I'm going to pretend like I don't even know y'all. I said, I'm pretending like I don't even know y'all. I'm going to take my notebook, and I am going to take all the notes, and I'm going to read all the things, and I'm going to feel Holy Spirit filled, and I'm going to pretend like I don't know y'all. And they just all be laughing at me. I'm super excited. Everyone in favor of Steve is a replace. Yeah, right. If y'all get him to do that, I'll die. Like, I wish. Oh my goodness. Steve would never. Bless his heart. He will talk to you guys on a podcast, but being in front of you is a whole nother story. Being in front of y'all is a whole nother story. Are y'all ready? Exodus 34. I'm going to go ahead and jump in and show you guys these things that stuck out to me this morning. The eyes have it. No coffee talks during our vacation. Y'all were sweet. No one would ever watch Coffee Talks again. Yes, they would. They like hearing from you. We need to, by the way, we have to record a podcast today. But they like hearing from you. Turn the screen around and look at the wall. He would still be too nervous. Poor old Steve isn't like good at, is it social interaction? I mean, maybe not. Maybe he's just nervous. He does good when he's behind a microphone, just not a camera. But you never know. If I get like super excited during my trip about something, I'm liable to like come on here and just talk to you guys about it, because that's what I do when I get excited. So, a lesson on marriage. We do need to do one of those. People want that on the podcast. Okay, are y'all ready? Exodus 34. The very first thing that I want to point out is verses 5 through 7, okay? The Lord came down in a cloud and stood there with him. Y'all know what? I'm actually going to do my highlighting, because I ain't done that yet with you guys, while I read to y'all. Okay, so where was I? I was on yellow. Let me organize these. Hold on. Got to get them in the right order. All right, I was on yellow. Okay, perfect. All right, so here we go. All right, so then the Lord came down in a cloud and stood there with him, stood there with Moses, all right, and called out his name, Yahweh. The Lord passed in front of Moses, calling out, Yahweh the Lord, the God of compassion and mercy. I am slow to anger. I am filled with unfailing love and faithfulness. I lavish unfailing love to 1,000 generations. I forgive iniquity, rebellion, and sin, but I do not excuse the guilty. So I wrote who the Lord is, right? Because sometimes I think we need to remind ourselves of that. So in my studying this morning, it talks about how a lot of people think that the God of the Old Testament was just a mean God, right? He was mean because he punished them and he got angry with them and all of these different things, right? I mean, we just read about it before where he was like, well, I'm not going to go with y'all because if I go with y'all, I'm going to get angry with y'all, right? And Moses was like, no, if you're not going, I'm not going, right? So there's a difference in the Old Testament and the New Testament because of Jesus, right? But he's not. He's not a mean God. Because over and over and over again, we watch him forgive these people. We watch him forgive these people. We watch him love these people, even though they are absolutely horrible, right? And they don't listen to nothing, just like us, you know? And we watch him give them compassion and mercy and love, even though they don't deserve it, right? So I wrote down who the Lord is, right? Because I think sometimes we need to remind ourselves of who the Lord is, right? We need to remind ourselves that he's the God of compassion and mercy, right? A God that's slow to anger, filled with unfailing love and faithfulness, right? And he'll forgive us, right? And that don't excuse us to go out here and sin, but it does tell us that when we do mess up, when we are like the Israelites and we have forgotten and we have messed up and now we're not going in the right direction anymore, He is a God that still loves us and will continue to show us compassion and mercy and all the wonderful things that He is, because He does love us, right? We can mess up and still be loved by Him, right? Right? And another good example for people who want to like rebuttal that is you and your children, right? Don't you show your children compassion and love and mercy, and you love them unconditionally even when they mess up, even when you're angry at them, right? Like when your children drive you absolutely bonkers, right? You still love them. Even though you've gotten mad at them, right? Even though you discipline them, you still show them love. You still show them compassion. You still show them mercy, right? So He treats us just as we are, which is His children, right? And then I circled this verse, or made me a little square around it, right? I lay the sins of parents upon their children and grandchildren. The entire family is affected, even children in the third and fourth generations. Now listen to me here. Some people look at that and are like, man, that's horrible. What? I have no idea what that was. But something just... I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was. I swear it looked like something flew past my window and it was white. I don't even know. I don't know. We're going to feel like that didn't happen. Okay, so people say that's wrong. Okay? It is the second part of verse 7. I lay the sins of parents upon their children and grandchildren. The entire family is affected. Even children in the third and fourth generations. So people read that and they're like, no, Charity, absolutely not. No. Don't jinx me. No. Was it Charlie? Well, he must have been going at the speed of light, because he was white and not black. I swear it looked like. People look at this verse and they think, well, that's not fair. Why would God do that? Right? That's not fair. That's not fair that I'll get punished for what my parents did. That's not fair. Right? I think people look at scripture and they find absolutely any reason whatsoever to disqualify it. Right? Because let me throw you something. So you're talking about like the sins. You're like, well, that's not fair. He's going to punish me because of what my parents did, right? Or because of what so-and-so did, or because of what this person did, and I'm going to get punished for it. Let me give you an example. My friends, those are generational curses. Let me give you an education on what a generational curse is. You ready? When you think the sins of my parents, right? I got to answer for those. You think about what your parents done that was wrong, okay? And why should you have to answer for what they did that was wrong, right? What about addiction, alcoholism, selfishness, being in bad relationships? All the other things that your parents passed down to you. You just aren't looking at them as sin. You just ain't, you're like, oh, well, my mama struggled with that. So I struggle with it too. Well, let me tell you something. I lay the sins of parents upon their children and grandchildren, and the entire family is affected. That's a generational curse. Right? You're just not looking at it as it's sin. You're saying, well, they struggled with it, so I struggle with it. Psh. I lay the sins of parents upon their children and grandchildren. The entire family is affected. That is what that is. The things you have carried with you, okay, to your adulthood because of what your parents modeled for you. And that just don't have to be drugs and addiction and all these other, it could be selfishness, right? If you watched your parents worship money, right? If you watched your parents be selfish and never help anybody, you are likely to also be selfish and not help anybody as you grow older. It's all the things that were passed down to you that were modeled for you at childhood, right? So let's talk about it. You're going to find yourself dealing with the stuff that your parents dealt with. Hoarding, pride, greed, depression. Yes. Other examples. Perfect. Yes. Like, you're going to find yourself dealing with that. The issue is you don't see that as sin. You're just like, it's a problem that they had and now I have it. Friend, you don't have to live with that problem. You're choosing to. There for the longest time, I got myself into bad relationships. Right? Really bad relationships. How did I fix that? I broke that chain. I said, I'm going after the wrong type of relationship. A good relationship wasn't modeled for me. So I'm gonna look to the word and I'm gonna see what a good relationship is supposed to look like. And I'm gonna go out and seek that. And I did. And now I have a marriage and a husband that people come to me. Where do you get one of those? Well, you find this type of man in scripture and then you let the Lord bring him to you. You don't have to go find it. Right? You don't have to seek and try to find all these different people to fill this void that you have in your life. You got to learn how to let the Lord fill the void until the Lord brings you the right one. You know? Like, that is what it looks like. God gave us ability. Yes. And we're going to talk about that. So what's breaking a generational curse? It's breaking up with the sin in your life. It's breaking up with addictions, right? It's breaking up with the bad relationships. It's breaking up with the toxic things you got going on, breaking up with the sinful ways, breaking up with the abuse. It's breaking up with the sin in your life. That's how you're going to break that generational curse. That is how the sins laid upon your parents don't got to be laid upon you or your grandchildren or the people that come after you in your third and fourth generations. It's that. You broke up with it. They didn't break up with it, so you inherited it. You hear what I'm saying? So it's your job to break up with it. Right? Goodness. That's a deep breath. It is your job to break up with it. People say, how do you break up with the generational curses in your life? You break up with the sin in your life. You need to, and let me tell you something. Can I tell you something else really quick? Because I got something else to add to this. It's going to be hard. And nobody's going to tell you that. They are going to make it seem easy to break up with the addiction, to break up with the bad relationship. It's not easy. It's actually going to be the hardest thing that you probably will ever do to date is break up with the sin in your life. It ain't going to be easy. The enemy can't make it easy. If it was easy, wouldn't everybody be doing it? But everybody ain't doing it. You're doing it. You're the one that's going to break the generational curses. Your mama couldn't do it. Your mama's mama couldn't do it. Your daddy couldn't do it. Your daddy's daddy couldn't do it. Your daddy's daddy couldn't do it. It's up to you. That's how you know that it's hard. That's how you know it's going to take some time. That's how you know that you are going to stand up to this and it's going to be the hardest thing you ever did because they wasn't able to break it, but you can. I think that we can all break generational curses by breaking up with sin in our life and showing our children a different way. Right? Modeling for our children a different way. Good morning. Yes, it takes a strong person to break those generational curses. They couldn't do it, but you can. Nobody's going to tell you that, but breaking the generational curses is breaking up with the sin in your life. And it's going to be one of the hardest things that you've ever done. And let me tell you what. Hold on. Let's read down a little bit more. Let's go down to verse 12. Be very careful never to make a treaty with people who live in the land where you are going. If you do, you will follow their evil ways and be trapped. Instead, you must break down their pagan altars, smash their pillars, cut down their blah, blah, blah. You must worship no other gods before me. For the Lord, whose very name is jealous, is a God who is jealous about his relationship with you. Let me ponder you this. Are you giving your absolute devotion and loyalty to the Lord? When it reads in verse 14, you must not worship other gods, we're thinking of all the Israelites. Their other gods was like these gold statues, right? And they worship the gold statues. And I don't worship any gold statues, so I'm not worshiping any other god. Hey, let me ponder you something. That generational curse. That addiction. See, it started out fun. That alcoholism, smoking those cigarettes. It started out fun. Right? But now you can't live without it. Right? That's considered another god. And you can't serve two masters. It's a generational curse that you are suffering with. Right? And to break the curse, you got to break up with the sin. Right? And it's going to be hard. Because are you giving your absolute devotion and loyalty to the Lord? You can say, yes, Kelsey, I am. Okay. Not yet. And listen, I've broken some generational curses, my friends. I've broken the alcoholism. I've smoking cigarettes. I broke that. See, I'm not one of these Bible teachers that's never done anything wrong. See, the Lord called me a very unqualified person because I've done a lot wrong. I've been married more than once. I've smoked the cigarettes. I've drank the alcohol. I've had a potty mouth. I've been and done all the things. I'm not one of those Bible teachers that say I've never done anything wrong. The Lord called me when I was young. I love the people that the Lord called when they was young, but it wasn't me. I had issues. Yes, I did. And I had to fix them. I had to break up with the sin in my life to break up with the generational curses. So I can speak on those for you. I do understand what it's like. I smoked cigarettes for a very, very long time. Very. And I never realized the hold it had on me until I went to quit. And it was the hardest thing I ever did. Right? And that's how I knew I wasn't necessarily worshiping the cigarettes, right? But it seemed like my body needed it for me to function. If I wasn't getting it, I was angry. If I didn't have a cigarette, I was mad. If I didn't have one if I'm having to stop my car every hour to smoke something, but I won't stop my car every hour to spend a quiet moment with the Lord, we probably got an issue. And we need to figure it out. It took me a long time to figure that out. So no judgment here, my friend. No judgment. Because I've been there. I've done that. I know it's hard. Yes, it is. I'll be honest with you. I quit smoking. Yes, Jessica, that's perfect. I got lots of messages on Messenger to catch up with today, and I promise that I will. So if you send it, I'll read it in a little bit. Yeah. I too quit cold turkey. Can I be honest with you? Really quick, and this can go with this message about breaking these generational curses. Y'all hear people say, well, I just asked the Lord to take it away, and he did. You hear people say that, right? I'll give you a minute. You do. You hear people say that. Right? I want to give you all some insight to this. Okay? Because when people used to tell me that, I was like, you're ridiculous. It does not happen like that. I've asked the Lord to take it away, and the Lord ain't took it away. Like, that's how I used to respond to people. He didn't. He didn't take it away when I asked him to take it away. I don't know what you're talking about, woman. You know, it didn't work like that. Right? Okay. First off, you have to want to do this. Be honest with you. You have to want to break up with the generational curse. Being convicted by the Lord for me to put the sin down helped me put it down 110%. But until he convicted me over it, I wasn't willing to put it down. Okay, I'll be honest with you. All right, he convicted me over it. And I said, Lord, I want to do this for you. You are worth this. If you could do all this for me, then I can give up something for you. Like, I told the Lord, like, I am willing to do this for you. He's going to say, all right, I'm going to do it though because you're faithful and you're good, right? And I said, Lord, take it away. And I meant it. I've prayed it a lot before. Lord, take it away. You know? But did you really mean it when you said it? Did you really commit to stopping what you're trying to stop? Or was you simply just saying the words, Lord, take it away? He knows what's in your heart, right? So did you really mean it in your heart, okay, to quit doing what you said you want to quit doing? Okay? First off. Second off, when I said, Lord, take it away, and he did, let me give you some insight on this. When you say, Lord, take it away, you need to realize a couple of things. This body you live in, what do I tell y'all about it? It's fleshly. You'll never be able to get rid of this body until you die. On earth, you will constantly live in this fleshly body that you have. Okay? Which puts you in constant battle of sin and spirit. Okay? Y'all follow me? When the Lord takes something away from you, he deals with it in your spirit. But it doesn't mean that your flesh won't still want it. I think that is the biggest misconception, or it's what the Lord spoke to me. It's what the Lord spoke to me, because I was like, Lord, why is all these people saying that they prayed for you to take it away and you just took it away and they just never had a desire for it ever again? Like, what? And then when I asked the Lord to take it away, my spirit changed. But my flesh still wanted what it wanted. It is actually very hard to explain. But my spirit said, we're never picking that back up again. And my flesh tried to fight that. Okay? So when you pray, Lord, take it away, it doesn't mean that personally, I don't think that it means you are going to wake up tomorrow and never want it again. I think it means he's going to do a spirit change in you. And you will never want it again. But your flesh will still try to trick you. Okay? Like, you got to understand, that is what breaking a curse is, right? Because are you living, right? I've read it a couple times. Are you giving your absolute devotion and loyalty to the Lord? If you are reliant on, the sin in your life, the generational curses, you'll be stopping for them. Your body will be craving them. You'll be wanting them. And you say, Cassie, well, I'm not worshiping it. I'm not praying to it. I'm not doing it. I hear you, but does it have control over your life? Because if it does, you need to identify and you need to tackle it. Nothing should have complete control over your life except for the Lord. And see, when you start letting the Lord have that complete authority and control over your life, I'm going to tell you what, your life's going to change. Yes, it will. It will. You'll change from the inside out. You'll walk differently. You'll glow differently. We're about to talk about that. You will be different. Everything about you will be different. Yes, I'm good. I probably won't drink all of it.
That new cup.
Huh?
You show them that new cup.
Not really. I've just been using it. Everything about you will be different. Right? Like, the depression and the anxiety will slowly go away. The worry will slowly go away. Can I let you in on a little secret? The things in your life that you say, well, it helps me with my stress. It helps me with my anxiety. It helps me with this. It helps me with that. Can I promise you something? Scientifically proven that it doesn't. It doesn't. Your flesh wants you to be reliant on it. Now, like I said, my friends, breaking these generational curses, they are not going to be easy. We are in a fight for our life, my friend. I'm going to tell you what. You are in a fight for your life. Let me tell you something. The Lord thinks you're worth it. And if He thinks you're worth it, why ain't you thinking that you're worth it? Right? You're worth it. You're worth the hard work. And I don't know who's told you before that you're not worth the hard work. I don't know who told you that, but you are. Put in the work. Break the generational curses. Break up with the sin in your life. Have the curse. Let me tell you this right now. So, I just got to work. How many of you are mad at your parents for the generational curses that they gave you? I was having on some times this morning. You're mad. My mom did this to me. My dad did this to me. They gave me this. They done this in my life, and that's why I do it, and it's just not fair. They gave this to me. You're right, they did. Scripture says so. But who has the power to change it? You do. First, it's getting in relationship with it. Hey, I'm breaking up with you. Right? Break up with the sin in your life. I'm breaking up with you. I don't care who gave it to me. I don't care if it was my great grandma. I'm breaking up with it. You can't be mad at them forever. They did the best they could. Listen, they wasn't strong enough to break the curses. Forgive them for not being strong enough, and you stand up, you break the curses. Look at your children. Do you want to give it to them? You've spent all this time being mad at your mama or mad at your daddy or whoever gave you what they gave you, okay? And instead of fixing it so you don't give it to your children, you've been mad at them for way too long. How about you break up with the anger? Break up with the bad feelings and emotions that you're holding against them. How about you break up with that and break up with your sin so that you don't give it to your children, so that your children ain't where you are, sitting around being mad at everybody for what they did. You have the power to break up with whatever you want to break up with in your life. Now it's time for you to realize it. You spent how many years sitting here being mad at whoever gave you this curse? It's time to break it. And if you won't break it, okay, because you're not ready to forgive them, you say, Kelsey, you don't know what they did to me. You don't know what they did to me. They hurt me. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. But let me tell you something. If you don't forgive them and fix this, you're going to pass it down to the ones you don't want to the ones you love most, and then you'll never be different than they were. So you're mad at somebody that you're being just like. I love y'all, but I came to tell you the truth. I hold absolutely no unforgiveness of any sort in my heart towards anybody. Because forgiveness is everything. Not forgiving somebody is also holding you captive right now. Your unwillingness to forgive them for what they did to you is only going to hurt your next generation. It's time we start realizing that. When you start realizing that. Right? I'm telling y'all. Let's keep going real quick because I got a couple more things. And we only got 20 minutes. Okay. Had to see what color I was at here. Okay, listen. I love that. Engaged because of forgiveness. I love that. Yes. Forgiveness does things, my friend. You can't be mad at them forever. Yes. Listen. Hold on. So, okay. I got a couple things. I want to focus on something. If I can go back to these other points, I will. But I want to focus on something else. Hold on. Okay, I won't use that color. I'll use this. Okay. I want you, we're still in Exodus 34, okay? I want us to read right here, starting at verse 29, okay? Because I want to show you one more thing. When Moses came down from the mountain carrying the two stone tablets inscribed with the terms of the covenant, he wasn't aware that his face had become radiant because he had spoken to the Lord. So when Aaron and the people of Israel saw the radiance of Moses' face, they were afraid to come near him. He came back with a different glow. He came back with a different glow. Oh. That's what happens. That's what happens when you get into the Lord's presence. I tell you what, you want to break those generational curses? You want to start looking different than you looked yesterday? Do you want to start being different than you was last week? Get in the Lord's presence, my friend. That is what's going to change you. You're going to come back down from that meeting with the Lord looking so much different than you went. I'm going to tell you what, that is what happens when you get in alignment with the Lord. You walk different, you glow different, you talk different. Everything's different about you, and people see it. Pictures of me before, I looked nothing like I used to. I looked nothing like the woman who was dealing with a whole bunch of sin. I look nothing like the person who was mad at the world. I look nothing like her anymore. Today, I am completely confident in who the Lord created me to be. I have my own style, the way I wear my own clothes, everything about me. I used to love makeup. I hardly wear makeup at all anymore. Because I don't have to. Right? I got in alignment with the Lord and I was able to love me like He loves me, which made me break up with the sin in my life. There for a really long time, I struggled with relationships. I wanted to fix people. I wanted to save people. Oh, you got problems? You got generational curses? Let me help you break those, buddy. I'm going to love you forever. Let me help you break. Let me tell you something. I could never help anybody break generational curses in their life until I broke my own. And even then, it wasn't about me helping them break them. It's about the Lord helping them break them. Because I got myself into these bad situations. I wanted these men who needed fixing, who needed somebody to love them more than anybody ever loved them. Don't take this the wrong way, but the only person that's going to love you more than anybody has ever loved you is the Lord Himself. You should love no one as much as you love the Lord. Okay? And because of your love for the Lord, it'll flow out into your other relationships. Okay? And you should want whoever you are with to love the Lord more than they love you. Because if they love the Lord more than they love you, your relationship will be unstoppable. I'm going to tell you what, because y'all's love for each other will be flowing out of your love for God. My husband, me and Steve's had a conversation. He never has to worry about me committing sin against him. And I said, well, why you say that? And he said, because you'll be too convicted. God will convict you too much for you to ever be able to do anything like that. I said, you're right. You're right. My husband knows that my love for God is so strong, I could never break my vows to him. But it used to not be like that. Right? I broke my vows to my first husband, and he broke his vows to me. Again, because we were chasing the wrong type of relationships. We got ourselves into relationships we had no business being in, right? Bad relationships, right? And I continued to seek out those bad relationships until I got in agreement with God. Until I started learning how to love myself like the Lord loves me. And then I quit accepting the people who didn't, or the person that was going to be in my life. I quit accepting that I just had to settle for anybody. I needed to learn how to be alone. I needed to learn how to be comfortable in my own skin. I needed to learn how to love me like God loves me, so that I'll quit chasing after all these worldly things that ain't going to fulfill me, right? And that's when he sent me a godly husband. Can I give you another piece of advice? I had to break that generational curse, and it wasn't easy, right? Because my body was telling me, oh, he's not your type. Right? The flesh is saying, oh, they're not your type. Don't go after them. They're too good. You don't go after them. They're not a bad boy. They're not your type. Don't go after them. Right? And I had to get in agreement. The only person that set a standard of a type was me. And did I really want to keep chasing after the type of man who wasn't going to love me like the Lord loved me? And the answer was no. Because of that, I spent many nights crying. Many nights alone. Loneliness is real, my friends. But listen, it changed everything for me. Because I quit accepting the fact that I had to be with somebody who wasn't going to love me like the Lord loved me. I didn't have to settle for that. And honestly, it was never my job to save somebody. It's always been the Lord's. It's his job. It's not mine. My job, I can lead you to him. But I can't physically save you. Only he can. Only he can bring you out of your deep, dark depression or whatever you were dealing with here. Only he can. Not me. Right? So I had to break up with those relationships, with that sin in my life. So we got to break up with our fleshly tendencies. Right? That's what comes with being in power over your emotions, and it's what comes with knowledge. The Lord's knowledge, his wisdom. Because then when your flesh is trying to tell you, hey, go over here, go do this, go do that, you can be like, no, I really don't think I should do that. Your flesh should be like, oh, yes, you should. You'll be like, according to scripture, it says okay. You'll be able to fight against your flesh. You'll be able to live a better life because you are fighting against your flesh. You'll be able to escape the depression and the anxiety and the bad relationships and all of those things because you're fighting against your flesh. You're able to be like, hey. My spirit, okay, is in control here, not the flesh. Take a step back. You're literally able to fight against your own self because you are in a constant battle of flesh and spirit. And when you get in agreement with that, you're able to fight that. You're able to check yourself pretty much, right? And I know, and he will. Yes, yes. But my main point was Moses came back different. He came back with a different kind of glow. Gosh, that's good. That's what happens when you get in the presence of the Lord. You're different. And it's, if you could experience the difference, you'd get in the presence of the Lord every single day. Tell you what, it will change everything about you. Everything. When you get into the presence of the Lord, you come back down the mountain different than you went up. I'll tell you what, you're fighting right now. You're fighting right now to get up that mountain. You're fighting right now to break those generational curses. Okay? You are in a battle for your life right now. I hear you. And you are fighting your way up that mountain. And let me tell you what, friends, there might be a cave up that mountain, and you might feel like you need to stop and you need to rest and say you did. Say, Kelsey, I was on my way. I was going to be in the presence of the Lord. I was trying to fight this, but then I saw a cave and I got tired and I took a nap and the flesh took over. Hey, just walk back out of the cave and keep walking on up. Okay? Because when you get to the top of the mountain and you get into the presence of the Lord, you are going to walk back down the mountain different than you went up. You ain't going to be the same person anymore, and you're not going to be fighting the same battles. It's going to be done. It will be finished. And you will be on to the next battle in your life. Go up the mountain. Go get into the presence of the Lord. Go break those generational curses. Go break up with that sin. Every single day. Let me tell y'all, I recorded a TikTok about it. It's my good tip for the day. 2, when you're breaking these generational curses, I have a challenge for you, okay? You ready? You say, Kelsey, it's going to be hard. Yes, friend, it will be. It will be so hard. I won't lie to you. Hardest thing you've ever done. Hardest thing you ever done. You take care of those generational curses one at a time. Okay? Hardest thing you've ever done. I get it. But it's also going to be the most rewarding thing you've ever done in your life. And the rewards and the benefits and the love and the forgiveness and the friendships and all the amazing things that the Lord is going to bring out of this, oh goodness, you don't even know what's on the other side. But I can promise you this, it's going to be the one thing that you don't want to miss. I can promise you that. I can promise you that. Break up with the generational curses. Here's your tip on how to do so. I read a book one time. It's called The One Thing. Sometimes when we are breaking up with our generational curses and our sinful life, we think about it. Well, how am I going to do this for a month? How am I going to do this for a year? How am I going to do this? It's going to be really hard to do this all week, right? We try to think about the long-term plan, right? And then we think of how defeating it sounds to deal with the long-term plan. You know what I'm saying? We're like, man, that sounds hard. I want to challenge you to something. Don't think about the long-term plan. Can you do it today? Can you do it for one day? Quit thinking about tomorrow. Quit thinking about next week. Quit thinking about 365 days from now. Can you do it for one day? Can you break up with that generational curse? With that sinful lifestyle for one day? One day. Not tomorrow, not a week, one day. And then tomorrow, when you wake up, you say, oh, I can do it one day. I can do it for one day. Yeah, I got this. I can do it for one day, right? And you do it for one day. Okay, now tomorrow when you wake up, can I do it for one day? One day. It don't got to be 1 week at a time, 365 days at a time. It's one day at a time. Quit asking yourself if you can do it all week. Quit asking yourself if you can do it all year, all month. Quit asking yourself, can you do it for one day? Can you break up with it for one day? Can you not pick up a drink for one day? Can you not pick up a cigarette for one day? Can you not pick up that vape for one day? Whatever you're breaking up with, can you not pick it up for one day? Whatever it is, don't pick it up for one day. One day. Quit. One day. That's all you gotta do. It's just one day. One day at a time. My 2-year-old is saying, yeah, preach it, listen. I love that. Denying yourself daily, yes. Just today, tomorrow will take care of itself. Exactly. Listen, Scripture even tells us. Scripture even tells us. Why worry about tomorrow? Today has enough worries of its own. My friend, you don't gotta have it all figured out. You just gotta do it for one day. Tomorrow will be here soon enough. Don't worry about that. Worry about today. Can you do it for one day? Can you do it for today? We'll talk about tomorrow when it gets here. Can you do it today? For one day. Okay? Listen, now I never said I was going to give up my Mountain Dew. You trying to give up Dr. Pepper? I never said I was going to do that. But I cut back on it. Just ain't going to give it up because I be liking my Mountain Dew. It's called, let's see. What is it called? Hold on. I got it right here. I don't get rid, so sometimes, here it is. So sometimes if I read a book and it didn't really speak to me, then, or maybe it spoke to me a little bit or something. So, but I don't feel that connected to it, I'll give it away, right? Like that's usually what I like to do with my books. But the books that I feel like affect me and change me and are going to stick with me, I do not ever let those books go. It's called The One Thing. I'll hold it up. Y'all can take a screenshot of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, y'all got a screenshot. It says, the surprisingly simple truth behind extraordinary results. I should probably read this book again. I don't remember exactly everything that it's about. Do y'all hear my stomach? Oh my gosh, I need to go eat. I'm hungry. It's really good though. One day. Right? One day. When you say go over my gratitude, what do you mean go over my gratitude journal? You should be able, Jessica, to order any hoodie that you want to. That's Purpose of Hope off the website. Please send me the name of the books that we're talking. I'm gonna add them. Hold on. I need to do that. That's it. That's something I need to do today. Hold on. I got it here. Hold on. And books. Okay. I will add those books to the Amazon storefront today so that it's easy to share with you guys. Okay. All those books we talked about on Tuesday nights, all of my favorite books that I've had, I'll get that done today as well. My to-do list is pretty big today, but I will get that done. Shouldn't be that bad. I don't know. We were just talking about that. Nobody else thinks that I should. We'll see. I ain't decided. I guess it just depends on like how I'm feeling and whatnot. I don't know. I really do need just a refresher to come back. I love The Chosen. I do watch The Chosen. No, girlfriend, I told y'all I would. I definitely want to. I appreciate when y'all remind me of things because I can't always keep it together. So every single day, I wrote down 10 things so practicing gratitude should be a big thing in your spiritual life, right? Trying to get all my highlighting done right here. It is a big thing in your spiritual life, and every single day I wrote down 10 things. 10 things I was grateful for. And the way that I did it is I done 3 different verses over and over again. So it's, I'm so thankful for, I'm so grateful for, and I'm so happy that, right? And I've done those 3 things over and over and over again. I'm so grateful that my son is feeling better. I'm so happy that the weather was beautiful yesterday and I got to open my windows. I am so thankful that my friend sent me a beautiful hoodie and t-shirt yesterday and I absolutely loved it. Like, it is something you are grateful and thankful for every single day. Okay, 10 things that are or that happened within 24 hours. Okay, so it can't be big things. Okay, it can't be like the same thing over and over. I'm thankful for my house, thankful for my husband, thankful for my kids. No, be specific about it, right? Like, what are you exactly thankful that your kids did? What are you thankful about your husband? What do you love about your house? What are you grateful for? Like, what are you thankful, grateful, and happy about that happened within the last 24 hours, right? And write those things down, okay? The more you focus on gratitude and happiness, let me share with you one more thing. Have you ever noticed that when you're focusing on something, you see a lot more of it? Okay, so for example, say you've seen this car and you love this car, and now all of a sudden you're seeing this car everywhere, and you're like, wow, I don't know why I'm seeing it everywhere now, right? That happened to y'all? You were thinking about something or wanting something, and all of a sudden you started seeing it, like, all the time, all over the place, right? It's because your brain is now looking for that. So, when you practice gratitude, thankfulness, and happiness, your brain will be more equipped to find all kinds of things to be happy, thankful, and grateful for, right? So instead of looking at all the bad, oh, this happened to me today. Oh my God. If you are looking at the bad things that happen in your life, you will constantly see the bad things that are happening in your life. You got to focus on the things that are bringing you hope and joy, and peace, and all of those things, right? I'm so thankful. I'm so grateful. I'm so happy that. Right? It's your 3 sentences. Repeat them. Repeat them. Till you repeat them and number them. 1 through 10. I'm so grateful that. I'm so thankful. I'm so happy. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. I'm so happy. Repeat them until you get to 10 things. Today, I don't practice 10 things. Today, I practice 5. But at that time in my life, I was suffering with like depression and anxiety, sadness, loneliness, and all the things. So I done 10 every single day until I started seeing the good instead of the bad. And then I allowed myself to change up my routine. You're so sweet. Thank you guys for joining me. So I got to finish doing my highlights here. And Haley should be here soon. And I need to eat me something because I'm about to starve. And yeah, we have our Zoom tonight. It's going to be some good stuff. So So I'll see you guys later. Coffee Talk tomorrow morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're new here, Coffee Talks are Monday, Thursday, Friday, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Okay, right here live on TikTok. And if you want to see any of the older ones that we have done, I have a YouTube channel, and I posted a lot of the Coffee Talks there. I actually got to upload some today, but I love you guys. I hope y'all have a fabulous day, and I will see you guys later. Bye, guys.